Oh, Stacy.
Okay, we are recording. I
All
just wasn't sure for a second. Yeah, looks like we can just get started.
Most certainly.
Welcome to the Monkey Bar, I guess.
Yeah.
I know, like I always like. I think I stopped doing that because I thought it was cheesy. Like saying, "Hey gamers, what's up? It's time for the Super Duper Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Cumgut, and this is my co-host, Big Orc Titties."
I'm sorry.
Like that was probably the cringiest thing I've ever done.
So recently I caved in. I had some GameStop credit from trading in some old PS2 games. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to pre-order Mortal Kombat 11. So my pre-order comes out in a couple days and I call them. The guy's like, hey, yeah, you know, he's trying to be that groovy, cool kid. No, you work at GameStop. You're not allowed to have fun. I apologize.
I mean, they're miserable enough as it is. Give them some slack.
I know.
I used to actually aspire to work at GameStop at one point, being like, oh, it'd be so cool to work in a place with games. And then I realized, oh, well, I actually have to work with gamers, too.
Yeah, like...
Those are my customers. Oh, fuck.
Now,
dodge jet bullets.
There are three groups of awful nerds, in my opinion. Weeboos are number 3. Fucking weeboos are, you know, anime nerds, whatever you want to call them. Second, gamer nerds. Like, fuck. But the worst ones are the comic shop D&D nerds and Magic ones. You know, I put some Magic events and I'm like, Jesus God. Did, like, he escape his mother, like, did mother's tendies bait did not... Fuck, let me retry that. Did he break the chains of his mother's basement and climb out like the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
It's like, well, probably not gonna. Like, I was gonna segue into the fire in Notre Dame.
Oh fuck yeah.
You know about that?
Holy fucking shit.
Apparently, not too much was lost. Like some stained glass windows from like the 1200s were like destroyed, but other than that, like all the artworks and whatever survived. So.
I will say this though, holy fuck, people are hot on the memes this time. Excuse me, it's like, I saw Hunchback of Notre Dame jokes, I heard destroying your porn sesh. My personal favorite was somebody photoshopped the, they photoshopped the fucking dragon from Game of Thrones. I think it's the one named Dorgan.
When I saw was EU bans memes, God, and it's like...
God.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It sucks that happened, but thankfully not that much was lost.
Yeah, you know it's not the first time it got burned.
Oh, absolutely. I
fucking French Revolution. Vive la résistance!
Yeah, it's not like it's the Library of Alexandria. Like that's the one that historians still cry over.
God, that's the one that gets sad boners over.
Yeah.
God, you know. Oh no, yeah, the one for paleontologists is that Brazil museum. There's rumors of fucking arson because the Brazilian government is creationists. Like, they don't even believe in Incas and Aztecs. What the fuck?
I mean, those are actual people.
Yeah, they think it was just generic Mexicano.
Reminds me of, like, the We Was Kangs guys who think that, like, Abraham Lincoln was black or whatever.
I'm just trying to picture black Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
I saw this video, and the whole video set up as like, it's like it was one of those BuzzFeed videos. And I only watched it because apparently this guy did a commentary. What they do is they walk and say, oh yeah, this belonged to this black inventor, so I'm taking this. Black person made this cornrows. And here's what I found out. Every fucking thing they brought up in the fucking video either goes back to ancient Mexicans or a white dude in the 1800s. And my favorite part of the guy says, no, there's plenty of good black inventors. Use those fucking things.
You want to just jump into talking about Star Wars?
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker.
It's, I think I'm gonna skip it. I guess depending on, like, who I hear... I mean, at this point, I'm just done with Star Wars.
Yeah, like, you know how you're with Marvel? That's me with Star Wars. I'm a fucking cape shit sometimes. Okay. I like the movie ones. Don't like fucking... But here's the issue with Star Wars for me. It's no longer special.
Yeah.
Like, remember when The Force Awakens came out and everyone's like, oh, look at that, you know, a new fucking saga. And then The Last Jedi shoved its fist down everyone's ass and made them talk like Muppets.
I felt that way after watching Force Awakens. It was like a flash in the pan for me, about as flashy as the lens flares JJ spams in his movies.
God,
like I think that I warmed up to it like after I watched it, but I just had not much of a desire to go back and rewatch it.
if you ever it's fun watching the background of that movie, less so in The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi seemed to weirdly misuse its budget in areas. Like, you'd get, the big epic fights, and then you'd go to Luke Skywalker's place, and they fucking had, we have 4 mountains to film on in Scotland. Use these 4 mountains,
Yeah.
And the trailer didn't do nothing for me. I'm watching it no. She's gonna flip over and do the, nothing personal, kid, to the TIE fighter.
I've seen edits where, the TIE fighter just blasts her into the ground.
I was expecting it to be Ben Swallow, just yes. I'm refusing to call him by his actual name because I actually forgot his name.
I can't go anywhere without hearing his name. Whenever it's brought.
I forget his name, but I think
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Thank you. I think I got that mixed up with a D&D thing. You know what I fucking hate about Kylo Ren? He is the. I'm not one to make fun of an actor because of how he looks. He doesn't look normal.
I saw a picture where it's comparing him to Keanu Reeves, or the caption is Adam Driver looks like somebody tried to draw Keanu Reeves from memory.
Fuck that. That's scarily accurate.
Yeah.
Remember when they had him shirtless?
I mean, that's the picture I always keep seeing.
Yeah.
The Ben Swallow meme.
But I'm sorry, watching him, his nose was distracting me. I was expecting it to open up and have a lightsaber come out, but that'd be fucking cool. A cyborg, a cyborg Sith who has a hidden lightsaber.
Yeah, that'd be like General Grievous.
Yeah, fucking have fun with Star Wars. They made it too serious, I think.
Yeah. I think that's not too far off.
Yeah,
to me, it just feels like nothing. People,
it's empty.
It's trying to copy the success of Star Wars. There's one thing a comment I saw in particular, which really spoke to me, was how the original trilogy, they made sequels because the fans wanted them. In the new trilogy, it's they had the trilogy already planned out before the first movie even came out.
What if it was just a one-off, and that was the end of that part of that universe, and they did different shit every time in the trilogy?
This is a corporation cranking out these. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, it's
we have talked about this before in the past. Usually whenever Evangelion comes up, we usually segue into Star Wars, I think.
I want to see that fucking oh my god, the final act, help us. Oh, the one coming out of the trailer saying Lando Calrissian. I fucking love Lando.
Just dragging him out of his retirement home.
I'm just picturing her fighting. You see the Unit 1 with the hair flying through, and either the Lance of Longinus on Ben Swallow, who slowly decays and she's actually an angel. Fuck. Have Hideki Anno. Hideki Anno needs to direct Star Wars. Picture Star Wars, but it's styled like Gurren Lagann.
I would love to see any anime series based around Star. I mean, as I say that, it's I'm still sick of seeing Star Wars to the point where it's you could do anything with Star Wars and I'd just be bored. I remember there was an animated short, the TIE Fighter animated shorts, which was actually really well animated. I didn't see it, but I saw some clips and screenshots of it, and I'll probably look at it when I get home.
I think I know what my issue of Star Wars is. I'm comparing Star Wars to Warhammer for this. Star Wars has grown very bland and self-repetitive, and you look at it's trying to keep itself to a strict corporate-friendly code. We'll take out an old character, we'll get rid of an old character, and we'll cycle through the original cast until we don't need to pay them royalties almost. You fucking go to Warhammer, and you've got giant robot knights shooting into giant orc robots while a robot dragon breathes fire. And the fucking thing is, despite the plot being fucked in the ass, it survives.
Well, that's because every Warhammer story is about a different character in that universe. With Star Wars, it's about the same group of characters or people who are related to them, or it only feels like it's just one small speck of this huge universe.
You know what I would do for something if Star Wars? Take like a Gamorrean, one of those pig guys that had in Jabba's palace. Follow a bounty hunter who's working for both, rebels and the Empire at the same time, and he's doing and you make it about this interpersonal drama between a mook and his where do I stand, where do I fall, and then he just shoots both of them and leaves with the money.
I did see that there's going to be a new Star Wars video game coming out. It's actually people are saying, I've seen arguments on both sides.
Don't be EA, don't be.
It's produced by EA, but it's being developed by Respawn, who did Titanfall.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, so I'm cautiously optimistic for the video games at least.
Do you know who should do a hack and slash for Star Wars? Capcom. Picture a Capcom Star Wars game.
Oh yeah.
And also, I only really played Star Wars games with character creation. Especially if there's a Zabrak. I am a fucking weeb for Zabrak. Woo! Look, it's Darth Maul! I get to be Darth Maul with one sword!
Yeah, Capcom or probably Platinum Games was the first one I think of.
You know that Capcom did a sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas? It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was Curse of Oogie Boogie or something.
Yeah. Or, I know it was on PS2.
Yeah.
What's cool about it, they have kind of new songs. Either they take an old song and new lyrics, or do you remember the Dr. Finkelstein, I think his name was? They have him have a fucking villain song, and it's almost techno, or not techno, industrialist.
I'm wondering if, anytime soon, that sort of goth phase is going to come back.
And what?
Or, with, the sort of My Chemical Romance, edgy stuff is going to make a comeback.
I kind of like DMC's tone, that really fucking awful 13-year-old goth. That should be its own thing.
Yeah. I like how genuine they are with DMC5.
Yeah.
Even though it's even though you, if it were by anybody else, it would have been, dated and really, kind of, cringy, but they make it work because it's with these established characters, and they do it with, very sincere writing.
Can I tell you what kind of ruined me? And not ruined me, but surprised me. So I'm playing the game, and Lady's one of my favorite Devil May Cry characters. She's 41 years old. And that kind of took me off, damn! And then you start realizing Dante's literally a grandpa to say he's an old fucking man.
Yeah.
I want an old man Dante.
Yeah. I think that DMC5's portrayal of him is probably my favorite. I can't even look at other, earlier incarnations of him without just being oh, why can't he have a beard? It's
I know.
I just want him to be a boomer.
It's all of them led up to this. It's the fucking end game of Dante's.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 2 Dante is my least favorite.
Oh, I think it's everybody's least favorite.
But my personal second favorite's the anime one, because apparently there's stuff came out from a creator that he's fucking depressed that there's no world-ending monsters to kill, and that's why he's very down key most of the anime. Oh man, I wish one of those fucking demons would break out of hell so I can. Oh god, I have to take care of the little girl now. Fuck. Also, I hope Patty survived.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine she did.
Imagine if they did a DLC where you could play as Lady, Trish, and Patty as a double slayer. I heard someone suggested, no, it was in the code, something called Ladies Night Out. Or Girls Night Out, not Ladies, because hopefully we'll get DLC up the ass.
I imagine we will. I haven't played Bloody Palace yet.
Bloody Palace, may I please say why I like it? Now obviously they throw the mooks at you, the Impusa, shit like that. And then all of a sudden there's not a shift. They fucking throw a Fury at you that fucking fights like no Fury before him. If you were, did you have trouble Furies in the main game?
That's the one that can teleport, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have trouble with them the first time.
Neither did I. But now, you can't really run, there's no cover, and he's fucking angry. Dante's got his mountain, or his monster. The Fury will grab his monster, chug it, and jam it down his eye. And also, if you die, you have to restart the very first. And apparently fucking Virgil basically uses high-end techniques like fucking cancels. Woo! There was also a room with 9 Furies in it. And that's fucking bullshit because they don't all teleport at the same time. They teleport in sequence.
I've been meaning to give Fallout 4 another shot. I know that, I think I've said before, it's just kind of boring for me. I don't know, I at least want to like go back and finish the story.
What I did for a playthrough recently, because I'll go to Fallout 4 because I really like its crafting. What I did was I did an automaton playthrough where I couldn't use only like a pistol and a melee weapon, and I had fucking robot bodyguards, and I had a mod so I could get more of them. So I walk and look at my army, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah, I know that Tom and SE Mod, they brought it up again. They were talking about Fallout 76 because they still play that, and yeah, they say that it's a lot better than Fallout 3 because it's like generally speaking, Bethesda games improve with each at least on a technical scale, like with gameplay mechanics. And they said that like with Fallout 76, it's not really to be looked at as a mainline game. It's more like, you know, I don't know, like people seem to have gotten like unnecessarily angry at it for just being its own thing. I don't know, like it is a broken, buggy mess. I will clarify. Like I'm not going to argue with that. There's even Thomas, stubborn as he has admitted that it's there's a lot of broken stuff in it. But at the same time, it's like getting angry at something like Ark Survival.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Ark is a love and a hated thing for me. Fuck every paleo depiction in that game, but at the same time, I fucking love it. It's 90s awesome, bro.
Yeah.
And that is both a blessing and a curse. By the way, you know what game I've been thinking about a lot? Fallout New Vegas. You know that Caesar didn't like his legion? He hated it. He hoped that they would become a peaceful democracy. And that if you unironically side with Caesar's legion to take over the Mojave, you're a fucking douchebag. Yeah, when you played New Vegas, what was your character's canon route? What did you do?
Well, actually, I still haven't finished the story yet, but I'm planning to do it like take over on my own, like because I killed House, gonna kill the Legion, and just rule everything myself.
Do you know what I wish you could do for an ending? Or you could fucking like, you know that, what was it, Little Mountain, Sleep Mountain, the one with all the super mutants? Unite the super mutants and ghouls under one army. And lead is like, they call him the Half-Man.
I was going to say the Necromancer.
Oh,
I like yours better, though.
Yeah. By the way, I got back to playing Shadow of War, because like, I woke up and I had to play it. And you know what fucking I love about, have you played the DLCs for it?
No.
There's a roguelike DLC where you play as the black dude from the beginning of the game, and you don't get orcs that you can brand, but you get mercenaries that take over it, and there's also sandworms.
Speaking of sandworms, I saw that the director of Blade Runner 2049, he signed on to do a Dune movie.
Ooh.
So like I think that'll be good. At least I'm hoping so. Because Blade Runner 2049 was great. That's a good example of rebooting a franchise in the right direction, even though it didn't make a lot of money at the box office.
Do you know what I would like to see a reboot of a film? I'd like to see a reboot of... There's this... Friday the fucking 13th. I can't believe I fucking forgot Friday the 13th. Jason. Well, more like this, you don't stab much. Here'd be my pitch for a reboot for Jason. The government finds Jason. And it's them trying to do the Jurassic Park thing, like, well, we got this really fucking scary thing on the loose, let's throw the other scary thing at it. And the reveal is the military operator is Krueger in disguise.
Krueger from...
Freddy Krueger.
Oh, okay. I thought like that was a Resident Evil reference.
Oh yeah, who's Krueger?
I'm thinking of Krauser.
Oh, Krauser was my favorite boss.
Yeah, he is a good boss. Like the part where you're like fighting him on top of the tower,
and then his arm does the thing. You know what part of the game I hated was when you had to take the two paths, one full of the Chainsaw Sisters and the other of the two giants. Because that was actually why I never got to really beat the game until my sister came over. Help me! My sister, so you know the game God of War, the original one. I had an issue with the very first boss, the Hydra. I couldn't beat that circle button enough. I had my sister do it. And then immediately the next scene was about to happen when you see the... And you'd be surprised how fast I can hit a power button from across the room. You know what I miss? I miss games that had over-the-top bosses.
Yeah. Like,
Devil May Cry 5 was a good step in that direction.
Yeah. That's something that I actually heard Chris from Oni Plays talk about, was that because they were playing through Kingdom Hearts 2, and they were saying like how like that and Shadow of the Colossus, they had like bosses with a sense of scale to them, and you don't really see that anymore.
Yeah, man, Shadow of the Colossus. So have you played Shadow of the Colossus?
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite Colossi?
Probably. It's been a while since I played it, but I want to say the four-legged one. I think the second one.
Oh yeah, he's fucking great. My favorite, there's two favorites. I'm cheating. Was the Minotaur of the very first one, when you see him walk out, and it's like, I have to fucking fight that. And the other one, remember the guy when you could only hurt him when he struck the ground, and he had to climb. He's one of my. I like the Minotaur ones.
Yeah.
You know, they should make a Shadow Colossus game, but you could play as a Colossi.
I mean, you do kind of get to play as one at the end.
Oh, true. But like my idea is that you basically it'd be like an army game where you play as that spirit trapped inside all of them, and you could like on this mission you can play. They have names. The one with the beard was cool. How if he shaved, you couldn't defeat him.
Like, in terms of movies, I think I'd just like to see more original stuff come out.
True.
Like, the fact that Hollywood keeps rebooting all these old franchises, it shows, like, how Hollywood is kind of dying. Because if they need the money that badly, then it's like, they have really no extra money to throw around to, like, budding projects.
I got a question for you. Do you consider reboots, or would you consider taking a book that's never gotten a movie as a reboot?
No.
Cool.
It's an adaptation.
Adaptation, well. Me no speak English well.
No.
Do you know what I think would be a cool book to movie? I'd like to see a... Wow, I can't speak English today, or think today. There's this... Oh wait, no, they already did one. I think like Spawn is a new movie based on the New Adventures of Spawn, because that shit was tight. Picture Spawn as a Saturday morning cartoon as a comic, and it works. Like they had this part, like, do you know who the fucking Cygor was? Remember Overkill? Make him a gorilla instead of a human, and also make him fucking Gorilla Grodd at the same time. What they did in the comic was like Spawn's at the zoo with his daughter and his wife, and all the monkeys stare at him and go, "What's going on?" And then you hear the gorilla go, "You call this a distraction?" And he jumps out of the ground. And they also had this really weird thing where do you remember Angela? She was a villain. Or she was a redhead who joined Guardians.
I know basically nothing about Spawn.
Basically, a character who's always been a goody two-shoes murders all the angels because she wants to fuck the anti-Spawn Redeemer. God, I kind of want to read more of Bleed Man to figure out how he's butchering. When Violator showed up, I got unfucking believably angry. Imagine that this creepy weirdo has made a story that you would have loved as a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was first exposed to, and that's a funny word to use regarding Bleed Man stuff. I was first exposed to his work, I think around, like, 13 or 14, so I loved it at the time.
Yeah.
Like, I've always liked art done by people who, like, draw in a style that's approachable, I think. Like, because I'm an artist, and I always look at stuff more fondly as like when it's done in a style that I can easily imitate or sort of like do fan art of, I guess.
Do you think that's why anime did so well?
I think so, yeah. It's it has like I've seen people say it's like a scientifically proven style or something. It's refined over generation to generation, and it's sort of that's why you see all this anime that's like on average good or above average, like in terms of animation.
When you're talking about scientifically proven, I would like to pay like a biologist draw a scientifically accurate skeleton, muscular system, and organ system of a cat girl. Because the fucking, the ears, are there 2 ears? Are they bone plates?
Like I've seen like where it's like they have 4 ears or 2 on the top.
Hypothetically, I believe they descend from horned carnivorous dinosaurs. They actually don't have hair and severs. Those are remnants of the horns. They flatten out.
It's kind of like Mr. Mime.
Oh God!
In a new movie.
So I rewatched the trailer. Fucking Mr. Mime kind of creeps me out, and I like it.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
I am. I like his design. Have you seen the casting call trailer?
Yeah.
They had fucking Torterra. I teared up a bit. Torterra's, what was your starter?
Mine was Squirtle.
So, like, when you see a Squirtle or a Blastoise, you get kind of sentimental, right?
Not really,
Oh,
actually.
fuck.
I don't know.
Then I'm weird. How old were you when you played Pokemon?
I was actually 5 years old.
Okay, fuck, I have no excuse. But when I saw Torterra, I'm like, oh my god, it's my guy, it's my OG.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think they should make a Pokemon, like, an open world Pokemon game, but you can actually see the Pokemon in the overworld.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can you imagine how fucking scary it'd be to see a Charizard swoop down and, grab something and drag him off to a lair?
Yeah. It's like a Monster Hunter.
Oh, can you imagine Monster Hunter Pokemon?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Just picture like you see a giant flower and it's a Venusaur that just lunge out.
Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, like one thing I wanted to bring up just briefly is I was thinking about what I said. This must have been months ago in one of the podcasts. How we were talking about like money, or like how like this podcast is just made for fun. It's not like made. We're never going to run ads on here, but I did set up like a coffee page, which is just like a little tip jar. And that's for both the podcast and for my own creative projects, comics, art, and all that stuff. Because this still requires some effort on my part and your part too.
Yeah.
I do like 80% of it though. So
Yeah.
Just gonna brag a little bit there.
If we were the Avengers, you're Iron Man, and I'm like fucking, I don't know, Jarvis, who's just sitting around smoking a cigar. Oh yeah, take down Thanos. I'm gonna, watch Red 2 while the world burns.
I just wanted to clarify that because I would like to earn just a little bit of cash from doing this stuff, but that's just gonna go towards this and other creative projects.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the goals on the coffee page, was to get the microphones, and I decided to just spring for it anyway because I had a line. I'm not in need of financial aid or anything, so I don't need the money. It's just be a little bonus, I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jarvis, I was reading Ultimates. Mm-hmm. Not too long. It was a couple weeks ago. I read through the first volume, I think.
Yeah.
Or it was close to the end of the first volume. It's like, it is kind of interesting to taking a realistic look on the superheroes, and like how they sort of treat the superheroes as like celebrities. So like Iron Man's hanging out with Eva Mendes or whoever. One of the plot points is that the Hulk is coming after Betty Ross because she's dating Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh.
So like Bruce Banner Hulk's out, and then like Hulk is like, me, I'm Hulk, me horny for.
Was that the one where he tried to rape a grandma? Was that a joke in there? I remember reading a joke that he tried assaulting a grandma.
I must have not gotten to that part, or maybe it's in a different comic. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember. Do you like the Ultimates?
It's all right. I wouldn't say I dislike it. I think it has a bunch of neat ideas. I don't think they're really executed properly, though.
I like its style. The one thing that I will never forget, though, is how they did Green Goblin.
Oh yeah, where he's like a mutant.
Yeah, where he's a gamma mutant, even.
Mm-hmm. Like I always thought that the old costume was goofy. Like, is it my first exposure to the actual comic book Green Goblin costume was actually in the Spider-Man animated series.
You know what they should have done? They should have combined the two. Like, have, like, it be... No, well, combine it with the Willem Dafoe armor. Mm-hmm. You could have, like, claws coming out, scale, and he has to take us,
Mm-hmm. I think it could work if, like, the mask and the costume was, like, all holographic.
Oh,
like
that's
holograms.
Cool.
Because that's actually an idea I had for another superhero that I had written. It was actually for Cat Kid before I decided to go back to him being, like, magic-based or whatever.
You'd be cool about the holographic thing. Have it on a character that has some really fucked up thing when they like, it flips and screeches and
Or yeah, like glitches out or something.
Yeah. Oh no! And then when he gets shot, it has like a little cartoon explosion as his head splatters the wall.
No, I'm thinking of that like little anime GIF. It's actually like it's got to be like 20 years old by this point. You ever seen the little GIF of the explosion that gets used everywhere?
Oh yeah.
Like I see it used in like YouTube poops still.
Do you know what I would like to do? An idea for something? You get like a team like, you know, the Teen Titans or the Young Avengers, and you have a fucking like actual hitman, not supervillain, hired to kill them. And just like walks in there and go, "What's hey, I'm your plumber," and he shoots the guy in the back. Like have the Iceman fight them. When they call me the Iceman, they don't mean I'm. Have you ever seen the Iceman confession tapes?
No.
Do you know who the Iceman was?
No.
He was a hitman, killed over 200 people. Okay. He was one of the most prolific hitmen in history. And they're interviewing him, and he's talking like, you know, I can't do the accent. I'm trying to do a New Yorker thing, and I'm fucking butchering it like a cat. But he goes like, yeah, I bought myself a sawed-off shotgun. I was driving in Manhattan, and I look over, and this guy has a convertible right next to me. So I pull out my sawed-off, reach across, and shoot him in the head. Blew his goddamn head off. No, I had to be surprised. So I turned around, I went back to the gun store, and I bought another one. And he, like, talks about, like, you know, they ask him, is it true you use a chainsaw to cut a guy up? Yeah. And he says it like that. He actually has trouble remembering the murders, not because, you know, he's fucking nuts, which he is. It's because he has no emotion because of it. He has to think of a date. And the guy, and, you know, the thing was that he even tells, like, the reason why they found him was he poisoned the guy with cyanide and the guy started moving, so he broke the dude's neck. So double death is obviously super suspicious. If you ever need to write a hitman, look it up, because it's fucking awesome in a horrifying way. He's like a real-life Punisher, except he's evil.
Yeah. Another, like, that reminds me of Punisher Max is a like, people say that that's the best Punisher book.
I'm not super huge on Punisher. It's something, you know, I do like him, but I don't like him by himself.
Yeah, I've heard that Max is like the best interpretation of him. I remember there was like the Sad Huddersman's short box. They were sort of mentioning, I think it was Death of Daredevil, or like his most recent death, I guess, depending on whether or not he's died before. But like they were talking about how dumb it was executed, because like,
when was this happen? Like what year?
I think it was 07, but sometime between like the last couple years and then, or I don't know, it's fairly recent. But like the way he dies is that he's fighting a supervillain, and the supervillain like he takes, you know, what's it called, like Daredevil's weapon? Like the stick thing, and he just jams the stick things into his ears. And it's like the goofiest thing ever, but it's played completely straight, and it's like the most it has the most serious tone, but then it's just the R's just.
It's a stupid thing, but it's also a real fucking scary thing because, you know, your ear canal leads right to your brain.
Yeah.
They used to use that for screwdrivers. That's why shivs are popular in prison. Plus, you can hide them. But still, like, you know what they once ran over Wolverine with a steamroller?
Like, I didn't realize that Wolverine was a JoJo character.
God.
I'm sorry, I'll see myself out.
No, okay. No, you know what got me? So, I can't hear the term JoJo and not think of fucking JoJo's. And this came up because there was a game I played and this character named JoJo, who's a mouse guy. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm picturing this, like, giant, horrific... It's, you know, my friend isn't super... I have a friend who's not huge in muscles and have her drawn. She says JoJo's fucking body horror for her.
Oh, she'd probably hate Baki then.
Oh, God.
Like, have you ever seen any pages?
I haven't seen art of it at all.
I gotta send you some of the links, because, like, it's insane. Like, there's a guy who can, like turn his back into a face just by contorting all the muscles.
What the fuck? I'm sorry. Like, I'm just picturing, like he's sitting there, hey, Ma, come here. I can make him talk.
Like, that's not even like the craziest thing that happens in Baki. There's a part where a guy fights a Deinonychus.
Real quick, you get a high five for saying that. I'm sorry, man.
Well, it even says in the book, like, a Deinonychus. And then, like, I think half of it, though, like, most of it's, like, in the imaginations of a lot of the characters.
Oh.
There's a dream sequence where Baki, like, wrestles a praying mantis. There's a scene where Donald Trump pees his pants in front of the world's strongest man to impress him. Him, Obama, and George Bush have all appeared in Baki. Let's see what else. Muhammad Ali Jr. is a character in Baki.
Oh, God.
Like, there's just a lot of crazy stuff in there.
By the way, I'd like to imagine that the praying mantis is actually a real thing, but it like poisoned him to make it think it's a dream. So it's randomly was like a 12. How big was it? Like 7 foot?
It's like it's 20 feet.
Okay,
I think it's like 15 feet.
There's a 15-foot praying mantis. and his disguise is that he ties a for sale sign around his neck.
Yeah, but like people have compared it to JoJo's. I think that Baki is actually crazier because Baki is actually set in the real world. There aren't any like superpowers, or like relatively speaking, because he still got like stuff like a Neanderthal caveman who's been frozen for like 300,000 years gets unfrozen and becomes a professional fighter.
That's a cool. The Mencino Man 2.
So like it's stuff that's like it doesn't have magical abilities or like stuff that's like too out there, but it's still like crazy enough to be like almost not plausible, but you know what I mean.
It's
like,
realistic.
Yeah, like if
possible.
If JoJo's is DC, then like Baki is Marvel, I guess.
And who the fuck is Image?
That's a good question. Berserk? I don't know.
Okay. By the way, in Berserk, is it true the main character was cut out of his mother and survived?
From what I read, she was hanged, and then like she gave birth to him. Like he crawled. I don't know if she gave birth to him or like he crawled out while she was hanging.
I have this horrible thing. Like if she's hanged, she was a circus performer. Watch for my final trick. You know, and like and then she catches up the legs and throws up in the air to a random guy in the audience.
God. That's a book that's a series that I still need to catch up on. Actually, I'm like debate like I don't know if I want to catch up on it right away because it's still coming out, and like the hiatuses are like really pretty long. There are a bunch of books in my backlog. Yeah, I showed you them already. There's I was reading Osamu Tezuka Apollo Song. It's actually really good. It's like
what's the gist?
The gist is it sort of plays out like a Greek tragedy where it's like this teenager who just like hates everything. He like kills animals because like he had a terrible childhood or his mother didn't love him, and like he gets electroshock therapy and he like encounters like this goddess who like curses him to like live all these lives where he loves but cannot be loved in return, or like he falls in love but he can never like
be loved.
It's something like that. It's really interesting, and usually I'm not into like this kind of stuff, but the art's great.
How do you say Tezuka?
Tezuka, it doesn't really matter.
He's a really good artist. Like his style may not always be my thing, but I always respect how distinctive it is.
And kind of goes back to what I was talking about with like easy to approach art styles, where it's like cartoony, but it has that sort of like expression that, and it has like it's not like doesn't have a lot of detail because there's a lot of detail in it, but I really like it. I think this was right as he was moving from his earlier stuff, Astro Boy and Kimba the White Lion, into more adult-oriented stuff.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Speaking of Kimba, do you know that's believed to be that Lion King was meant to be an adaptation of it?
Mm-hmm. I heard that they ripped him off. Yeah.
Yeah, like in early concept art, Simba was even white. I'd be fucking pissed about that new movie. Is he still alive?
Is what?
Is he still alive, Osamu Tezuka?
No, he's not dead.
Like,
I wanted to mention too. That reminds me. The creator of Lupin the Third, he just recently died.
Oh man.
Monkey Punch. So it's personal for us. Yeah, give us be of the chest of respect for him. He was 81 and died of pneumonia. It seems like a lot of people die of pneumonia.
Oh, pneumonia is fucking lethal if you're old and weak.
Even young people.
Yeah.
Like Bernie Mac, he was 50. He died of pneumonia. It's like yeah.
It's fucking scary. Like you're randomly an invisible thing can kill you.
I heard that there's this fungus that's going around that's like lethal too. It's got like a 30% kill rate.
Did you know that there is a fucking I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's a flea that if it bites you makes you forced as a vegan. It makes your body reject any form of meat proteins. I like to imagine, and they
like don't give the hipsters any ideas.
No, just picturing deep down in a lab, all the vegans and anti-vaxxers are sitting around. Well, not anti-vaxxers, they're locked in the cages, and they're like boiling a cauldron full of ticks and mosquitoes. Summon us this monster. Oh god, no, even better. It's like that fucking like, what was her name from Power Rangers? like the evil. Rita Repulsa. Her voice, I can't do it, but I recognize anywhere.
Yeah. Same with, like, there's a lot of voices that were, I think mostly in the 90s I grew up with, where it's like, yeah, like if you just see a picture of that character, you immediately can hear his voice.
Yeah.
Or like, I think it was like a thread in 8chan, it might have been on the code board, where they were talking about Doug, and it was like talking about the creator of Doug. He was like, I think it was like at least a decade ago, he was talking about, meeting he was talking with the real life Patty, the girl he based off of to put in the show, and talking about like going to her apartment to meet her and have dinner with, and it's like maybe I'll be able to like maybe we'll talk and like you'll be able to get together or something. And it's like, and she's like, oh, I want you to meet my husband, and he's like, and then I don't remember the rest of the night. And then somebody commented saying, being like, oh, I want you to meet my husband. Well, if it is my old pal, funny.
I don't like Doug. It's something about the show that never appealed to me.
Really?
Yeah, I just never got into it as a kid.
It had that sort of slice of life quality that I think that a lot of kids wouldn't really get. I think it was mostly made for older kids.
As I have grown, though, there's one thing I appreciate about it, that it makes Doug Walker infinitely angry.
I think he mostly plays that up, but yeah. I remember seeing like this. What do you call it? The like they showed in the beginning of Evangelion the tree.
Oh yeah, Yggdrasil. No.
Yeah,
Yggdrasil. It's the Yggdrasil.
Yeah. No.
I'm sorry. I have to tell you why I know this. I fucking worked at McDonald's. Remember the Satanist dude? Mm-hmm. He was also he was a Satanist, but he also like jerked off to Germanic paganism. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned it's fucking Yggdrasil.
But yeah, like there was a picture of that with Doug at the top, the Einsoff, and like everything underneath was like other slice of life cartoons. Like you had like As Told by Ginger.
Is that gonna be the new meme?
I hope so. Like that would be an interesting one. Yeah.
Do Ava with that.
Yeah, like the character tier list. Speaking of McDonald's, I saw this video where like this this big fat guy. I think it was like during Mardi Gras because like everybody's drunk and like wearing green. But this guy's like at the counter. He's like, "Where's my fucking cheeseburger?" And it says like. He's just throwing a tantrum. Man, this is bullshit. I've been waiting here for like an hour. Sir, you gotta go away. And then like this guy who's like sitting in the booth, he's like, I have a cheeseburger. It's so delicious. What the fuck did you say, you motherfucker? And then they get into a fight, and like the guy, like the skinny guy, like tackles him and like pins him to the ground.
Oh. If that fucking happened where I work, I'd fucking be helping him in the bra. I'd say, "Here, I dropped all the knives."
Yeah, you'd throw them through the ceiling.
Do you understand? Like, as a McDonald's worker, I used to think before I worked there, when I first started, that the customers are always cunts. Excuse my language. Turns out that's a two-way street. The workers as well. By the end, I realized it was not that we were all being paid that made us work together. It's the fact that if I murdered everybody else, I couldn't get away with it. Our mutual hate was a bond greater than glue. I apologize.
It's fine. I was just checking to see if the audio is peaking. I think, like, does the acoustic sound any different here with the wood floors now?
I hear a little echo.
Yeah. I don't think it's too bad.
Yeah. Sorry, I apologize. I have really bad seasonal allergies, and right now my fucking, like, sinuses are battling. Do you have more than one sinus? I assume you'd have like two.
Well, like sinuses is the phrase that is usually used, so I assume.
So my sini are fighting each other. God. I remember one time at McDonald's. I'm going to share two stories here.
Sure.
One of them is that we had this guy telling he was one of the grill workers or fry workers, and he says, "You know, I wonder what it would feel like to stick my hand in the fryer and hold it till my hand goes black." And just walks away. I also remember that we, now this is a story. We had this guy, Marcus, and you know he's a big fat Southern dude, but he had the wisdom of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the original Obi-Wan Kenobi, not Hello There. But I remember what happened was he was telling me, you know, we used to hire this guy, big retard dude. Nice dude, but retard. And apparently, he got angry one day, so he drank the cleaning chemicals. And I also remember one time he said, "Hey, you know, So we had different clean agents. Don't mix the yellow with the blue. And I asked why. Because if the yellow and the blue mix, it makes a chemical reaction that creates corrosive gases.
That's probably ammonia and bleach. Right?
Yeah, or
that's what makes mustard gas.
they didn't tell us what it was called because they didn't want us to say, it was literally, it's called yellow cleaner, blue cleaner. I did know one thing that we had to, by the way, the blue is the only thing that worked. Blue would wipe the sin off a laptop or whatever. But like, I remember one time that we got a corporate, we don't want you to use blue, it costs too much, so we're going to send you water that we had a Pope piss in. So we had that blue shit, and we were in the back. We were fucking, like, mixing, because we found out there was a red cleaner that if mixed with blue would work like blue. So we would basically be mixing in the back. I'm sorry, I'm getting dramatic here.
I'm sorry, I'm just, yeah, you keep going.
Yeah, it was like fucking, Breaking Bad in the storage room. Yeah, instead of blue meth, we're making blue cleaner. God, I almost missed working there. Almost. And then I remember, that job fucking sucked.
I was checking because I saw that this was flashing. I think that means it's peaking. I don't know. Like, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. I get emotional sometimes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I know McDonald's is basically like your gauntlet.
Yeah. I kind of want to, like, fucking write a story using the cast of people I knew there. It was man, I went up a Satanist dude here. Could I for a little bit?
Sure.
So, like, apparently, so this dude worked there. He would use, oh, yeah, I'm a theistic Satanist, yeah. And, and his thing was, you couldn't fucking talk to the guy, because he would put his ear things in. Now, the issue is that he worked the grill, and the grill area was slapped next to the fry area. And most of the people who worked there weren't, paragons of our sartorial resplendency. We're fat pieces of shit who hate our lives. Yeah. And you'd have to, if you bumped him, God forbid, he would get angry. He'd put hexes on you. But if you ever went to apologize, he wants you to pray with him, pray to Satan with him.
If he was walking down the road with his AirPods in and there was a car about to hit him, would you say something?
Oh no, he can't hear me because he's a stuck-up douchebag. I'm sorry, if you actually wear AirPods, I lose respect for you. God, I'm sorry. AirPods, there's something about them that makes me just...
It's kind of like how iPhones were seen back when they were first released.
Recently my mom gave me her old iPod and it's got all her music on there.
Is it one of the the ones with the dial?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are great. I lost my old one and I wish I still had it because you could store like thousands of songs on those.
But have you ever listened to music your parents did?
Yeah.
Like, I used to listen to some of my mom, but now that I have her entire fucking iTunes on there, it's like, wow, she's got a good taste in music.
Yeah, like a lot of the music my dad listened to, though, like I think it was by his friends, because like my dad was he used to be in a band, and he still has a guitar, and but yeah, he a lot of his friends' music I can't find on iTunes because stuff like Alan Holdsworth, can't really find that. Yeah, my dad's music was actually pretty good because I remember he played like a tape that his band recorded. So
what music did he play?
Rock.
For me, I was like, does he play country? No. I don't know why. I could sort of picture you playing country.
Really?
It's the hairstyle. You have like that hairstyle of like late '80s country.
Yeah.
No offense.
Maybe that's a sign I need to get my hair cut.
That's a sign I need to put on some nair and I apologize, man.
I was gonna mention. I posted again on the because I saw that I've been seeing it a while ago. They bring up one of their characters, Thomas. I think it's Thomas's character and also his brother. I think they both invented this character. Same with Laylee. But there was another character that they came up with called Sudoku-chan, who's basically this pathetic feminist girl who keeps getting sexually assaulted by demons or whatever. She's a demon slayer, and they make her let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, they make her purposefully insufferable to make the payoff greater. And I drew a sketch of her. I want to show this real quick.
You know what I say about TG is great. It's my favorite 4chan board.
Mm-hmm.
They did this one where this. Oh my god, it's a parody of a rape fic.
Huh.
Where it's an Eldar, which are elves in Warhammer, but they're slightly more racist. And she's, and the orcs walk over, and she goes, "Oh my god, are you going to rape me?" And the orcs, "No, we're gonna crump you. What's rape?" And then she tells them what it means. Go, "Oh, we don't got those," and then beat her skull in.
Here it is.
Sudoku-chan.
Sudoku. So like when I originally drew her, she had like the swirly anime glasses and pigtails. They said like she looks more like Bayonetta, I guess. All confident and like patriarchy. But then like she gets beaten up and like pissed on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not stuff that I'm into, but I just kind of admire the sort of anarchic style, like sort of punk rock.
Yeah.
Like pushing the boundaries, stuff that I grew up with in the 90s.
I try not to push boundaries with like sex shit, but I'll fucking push gore all day long and half the night. Cause like, have you ever seen like, the villain gets killed, but it's fucking lame. I had the idea of an Orca, which is my, fucking... It's no longer a 90s parody. It's a fucking long, deep, continuous slice on comics in general. I had one great scene I planned where Orca stabs the bad guy in the gut with a knife. And he goes, and there's a helicopter. You took a lot of balls to hunt me. And then Orca says, "Me not done killing you." Pulls out the knife and throws him in the air into the helicopter blades. God.
I liked SC Mod's first response when I posted that picture. He just says his first thing he says is "haha piss toilet," and like part of her design is gonna be like she just has a bunch of marks on her arms from cutting herself. Her shirt should probably actually say "smug cunt." She cuts her own hair and tells you about it because she doesn't want to be beautiful anymore.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. Have you ever heard of like? It's called Lamentations of a Flame Princess. Picture of like that kind of stuff, but it's fucking unironic. I don't know if it's ironic, but you know what I mean, right? This person was playing D&D, like, yeah, I made my own module, my own system. And then his girlfriend left him. So he took her character. Yeah, she like fucking like drowns in a sewer full of shit, seeing her own reflection. It's the worst shit. Imagine playing a game, but the guy's jerking off about how much he hates his girlfriend, and yeah, I help more New Zealanders get hurt, And it's black metal randomly, but it's not fun. It's fun to make fun of him.
Have you checked out Literally yet?
I have. I saw it on Gumroad. I'm not sure how to get to a profile. What link do I? You have to understand. I'm like a fucking monkey of a coconut on the computer sometimes.
Okay. It should have a link that just says $1.
Oh, click for one. No.
Yeah.
No, I have the power.
Yeah.
Also, sorry about that.
It's fine. I'm the one talking about turning women into piss toilets. I think that I still stand by my statement. I think that it is like punk rock and pushing the boundaries. Just like the way like they go into it, it's very clear that they don't like actually advocate for this stuff because it's fucking fiction. It's like it's kind of liberating to be able to like just write this stuff, just do whatever the hell he wants. Yeah. And I think like one video I've seen is Patrice O'Neill. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's just a comedian. But he was on like a news program, like sort of defending like this comedian who made like a sexist or whatever joke, and he was saying like how a comedian never really knows what's going to land until he says it to an audience. And I feel like a lot of people don't really get that anymore. They think that I think this sort of like information like with the internet. It's like I can just go back and delete this. I can like. People don't need to be exposed to this, but like comedians, that's their job is to like basically
stir the pot.
Yeah, it's like stir the pot and like put stuff out there that's if it's funny then good, we'll roll with it. If it's not funny, okay, drop it.
Ever heard the Aristocrats joke?
Yeah, it's like the joke that you just keep building on and building on.
And then is that all you got?
But yeah, it's like this is kind of the same thing, I guess. This is a joke that's if it lands then good, if it doesn't then fuck it.
Yeah.
I just like him going. Just you like when I posted this, he was just going on for like 10 minutes with all like. I mean, just look at all this. It's like, man.
Oh.
Like there's more of this. It's like.
Hey, can I tell you what I've been doing? I joined a fucking Facebook group called Dinasours. Yeah, they're all fucking either 12-year-olds or from Indonesia. No offense to Indonesian fans and people, but it's like actual post, and I've memorized. Is you think y'all dragon is also dinosaur? And there's like this real fucking movement of advocation. Dragons are real. They're fucking dinosaurs, and I'm like, wow. These people are actually retarded. My favorite one is, have you ever seen the old picture of the Spinosaurus? When they give it a T-Rex head. My fucking, I posted there and the guy said, and I'm in my own chat called Therapod and we're all making fun of him. The quote of the day is, back when that thing was fucking valid and gas was 90 cents. My response was, no, back when that thing was valid, there was a fucking Second World War going on. It's like, I'm sorry. Man, I need to start hanging out more in the Smug Laley chat.
Yeah. This is probably my favorite line. He says, you know, the demons pull her weapon out of her hands and yank off her clothing like it was made of wet napkins and penetrate all her whole, make her pregnant with ass babies and throat babies. Not nose or ear babies, though. That would be too weird.
God, you ought to draw, or I ought to fucking try and draw. I want to draw her and it's Warhammer, and you get like, you know, there's the, you know, the Zinch demon, the bird dude, and then you get like the Slanesh demon, which is the hermaphrodite one, the big scary, you know, blood goat demon from Korn. And oh my God, you're gonna rape me? And they go, no, he is. And the big fat belly ripped open plague zombie rolls over. I'm sorry, I have to draw that now. Do it like Shadow of Colossus style image.
Yeah, you should post it there. They'd love it. Yeah, they're all like really pretty welcoming.
Yeah.
As long as you don't be an idiot. Like, yeah, like I don't know. I think that Thomas is more kind than he puts on. Like I just
he's like the soccer coach in the '90s sport movie.
Yeah, or it's like that one clip they posted on Reaction FLV. I can't remember what, I don't know what movie it's from, but it's like this woman who's like in the army. She's trying to go up over the wall, and this black guy is just yelling at her and degrading her. It's like, you want to cry? You want to go home to mama and cry? And then it's, I got a picture.
Black drill sergeants are the scariest things on this earth. You cannot dissuade me of that.
Yeah, I mean, like it depends. Like, because I think of Arlie Ernie.
Oh, true.
A drill sergeant.
Have you ever seen like I saw a video? So do you know what a cadence call is?
No.
You know, so when they do the, you know, like the I don't know what I've been told, and in the beginning they just go like, you know, like where, you know, vowel vocalization for spacing chorus, whatever the fuck it's called. They call it cadence calling. They had all these different cadence calls, and you know what fucking surprised me? They're all like, you know, there's two kinds of drill sergeants apparently. Old men like Arlie Ernie, God bless him, and then you get the you know, the black southern soul singer out of nowhere. There's only two.
Yeah, but Thomas, like, yeah, in public he's usually like, you know, this hipster fucking dipshit should get rammed up the asshole and diarrhea his intestines. And then, like, I talked to him in private. I'm like, hey, I want to draw this thing. And he's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
It's like the same thing. Like, I noticed that's common. Like, in a couple of series I'm in, there's this dude named Eddie. And his whole thing is that he is the master of marine reptiles in paleontology. Fucking guy lords people over. And like, oh yeah, that's my act. It's like I'm the fucking Thanos of crocodiles that went extinct for 70 million years.
Yeah, I don't think I'm able to get like Thomas's like cadence. I can do his voice a little bit good, but like when it comes to like just the inner working of his mind, it's like, I don't know. Like I still think they use a teddy bear.
Can I think I can do. So talk about my
have
uncle.
you ever listened to their podcast?
I have not.
Like you got it. Like, because I also linked you the reading of Inevitably Doomed, the Tower comic.
I'm gonna listen to that when I get home.
Yeah.
Sorry, when I heard that, I was not in a place where you can play that kind of recording.
Right.
God, have you ever heard the grapefruit method video?
No. I can kind of guess just by the title what it's going to be about.
So, basically, long and short, this black woman's like, alright, this is using my bonus tape, but I'm going to show you because I think everyone needs to be grapefruit. So she takes the grapefruit, cuts one half off. So she says what the whole idea is that when you're about to blow someone, you put it around them and squeeze it. Mm-hmm. But she blows a dildo, but she makes this is not edited. It sounds like two fucking Wolverines fighting over a side of beef, this blowjob noise. Sounds like a vacuum with a rusty nail sticking through it. By the way, I mentioned my uncle a bit, and you're speaking about cadence with, I have finally mastered his voice. Alright, now y'all doing? He sounds kind of like this. And also, he'll fucking call you buddy. Buddy is his word. Like, I heard him say, you motherfucking buddy, I'll kill you. Oh, God. He's hysterical on a phone call. And the other thing was, my fucking family fights like hounds, Mm-hmm. I guess it's about that time because I mentioned my uncle, isn't it?
No, it's. I was just watching the peaking.
Oh yeah, I apologize.
Yeah, it looks. Let me just adjust this a little bit more.
Yeah.
I can never get this right, and I want to do as little editing as possible. I was actually editing the footage of the last episode we recorded. It looks so much better, and like the audio, like even though I think that we recorded that when the wood floors, right after the wood floors were.
No, same day.
Yeah, same day. But like, yeah, you can tell like because in the previous one there was like clipping between tracks, and now it's like all on the same track, so it's just perfect.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Here's the thing. So I can't wait till there's gonna be a copy pasta of. Have you heard the tragedy of Skywalker: The Rise? Mm-hmm. God.
Have you ever heard the bigger Luke theory?
The what?
The bigger Luke theory.
No.
Where it's like. The idea was like throughout the original trilogy there was like a stunt double or something of Luke Skywalker. Mm-hmm. Or, like there's a because there are some shots where he appears taller than he actually is, Mark Hamill, and like people are just like making all these graphs and charts showing like exactly at what points of the movie bigger Luke shows up. So it's like the weirdest thing, like this
big Luke.
I think it's like mostly ironic, this sort of like obsession.
But that's actually his force power is manipulation of his size. Uh-huh. I can grow slightly taller.
Well, he's a big guy.
For you.
Yeah.
God. If I ever say something that requires, if it fits, I hear the for you. Uh-huh. Yeah, they did. Some guys do a sound effect. They'll actually just put a cup around their mouth and talk.
Yeah, I really like how they did that in the movie. Was making Bane's voice louder than like everything else.
Yeah. God, Bane. I don't like him as Bane, but I like him as a villain. Mm-hmm. The movie version.
Yeah. I
prefer my Roid Pound monster. Roid Pound. That's a villain name. Roid Pound.
There was a theory that Bane was actually Alfred. I think I told you about this, where the theory was that Alfred was taking venom to like turn into Bane or something.
Oh, that'd be a cool twist. Alfred being a villain,
and that you don't see Alfred on the screen at the same time as Bane.
And then when he dies, you don't see Alfred afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or no, like you see Alfred at the end, because but you don't actually see Bane die. You just see him get shot by the bat cycle or whatever. So like he probably absorbed the impact with his muscles.
Muscles. Oh my god! You know what my favorite fucking thing is? I love stalker voice actors. I like Russian accents. I had to go to a job thing, and I'm in there, and there's this guy, big Russian dude. He fucking talked like Yakov Smirnoff, like. Hey, do you want to try this carrot-flavored popcorn? I would rather have lead-flavored buckshot. And I'm listening to this. Imagine trying to do a job interview when there's like a fucking like he is like Slav Supreme. He's flying around in his his like his gym leggings with the white stripe. He is the only Slav who does not squat. They squat for him.
Yeah, I think that we can wrap up about now. I want this episode and like episodes in the future to be a bit more structured because I think that the last episode we recorded it was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So like
I liked the idea of us like having like set up bullet points. So much.
Yeah, bullet points. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Because I fucking ramble.
Yeah. So like it's good to have just a few specific topics to go over and then bullshit in between those, I guess. Yeah. But until next time, I guess. I've been Tony.
I've been Zach.
And this has been The Monkey Bar.